very good morning wherever you're watching us from. This is Kirk in the morning. It's Monday the 17th of October 2022. How have you been? How was your weekend? I hope it was a good one. And I want to take this opportunity to invite you to another new week where we have a lot lined up for you. Begin from Monday. Monday is Kirk in the morning. Of course, this, as always, is Health Edition. But before that, we want to look at what is happening in the roads. And of course, we look at the papers and later get into the conversation this morning where we're going to look at matters nutrition, health, weight management, of course, and then we will look forward to what is happening around the week this week, when we know that there's a lot that is coming up, including the vetting of the CSS, but that is coming up later. First things first, let's look at the traffic update. All right, let's look at the roads leading to the city this morning. Let's begin by having a look at the obvious and always cloaky Langata Road. Let's look at what is happening there this morning, right from around about before even the Nyayo roundabout at Timol. There's a little bit of traffic there in connection to Mbagathwe or Raila Odinga Road as well. It doesn't look good into the city this morning around, of course, Wilson Airport as well. Through into the city around Nyayo roundabout as well. It doesn't look good. So if you're using Langata Road, you need to have yourself ready for that jammy morning, of course. But let's have a look at what is happening on Mombasa Road as well. Mombasa Road as well, not as bad, but around the roundabouts, of course, the Nyayo roundabout, move to Uhuru Highway into Haile Selassie roundabout, a little bit snarl up this morning, but not as heavy, of course. I don't know if we were able to get what is happening on Thika Highway into the city as well, because this is a road that is used by many. But before then, let's look at Ngong Road as well. Ngong Road this morning not looking good at all into the city, but outbound, of course, it looks cool, but inbound to the city looking a little bit jammy this morning. So you have to get yourself out early and get into town in time. I'm trying to look at my gadget here, look at Thika super highway. If I can find that, I want to look at what is happening around Angara, around Pangani as well. Let's have a look at what is happening there. Well, I'm not able to find that, but at least I found Jogoo Road as well. Jogoo Road, a lot of traffic there. Along snarl-ups joining Landis Road. Of course, that means it's not going to be a good morning on that road this morning. So you have to plan yourself as well and ensure that you get your times right, or else you get yourself late into your days chores this day. So basically, that is what is happening on the roads this morning. It looks good on the expressway, of course. If you're on Mombasa Road and you want an alternative route, kindly just jump in on the Nairobi Expressway and you'll have your way into the city as fast as possible. Basically, that is what is happening on the roads this morning, the major roads leading to the city as far as the traffic update is concerned. All right, that is it on the roads. Done. Now a little bit of what is happening in the papers, what is written on the top pages of the papers this morning. I don't know if we have a kitambulisho. I go direct into it. My producer will let me know. All right, let's have that, and then we look at what is happening on the papers this morning. Yes, let's look at, of course, I have two dailies with me this morning. I have the Daily Nation and, of course, the Standard. Let's begin by having a look at the Daily Nation this morning. The top page, why I disbanded crack police unit. Of course, this on the President William Ruto on why he disbanded the DCI Special Service Unit. Of course, yesterday you had, of course, it's actually Saturday when we had a communication that the Special Service Unit of the DCI had been disbanded and the officers recalled and reassigned other assignment. Of course, the President saying that I'm the one who ordered the Special Service Unit that was conducting its judicial killings to be disbanded. We have a plan on how to secure this country so that we avoid the same the shame actually of Kenyans killed by the police and their bodies dumped in Yala River and others. We are going to change this country for the better. So that means that it is done for the Special Service Unit. The story, of course, deeply written in page 2 and page 3 of today's Daily Nation. Of course, I want to look at a story on page as well. Club boss linked to murder of Ida Odinga's bodyguard seized. The club manager who allegedly shot dead the bodyguard of opposition leader Raila Odinga's wife Ida in Kisumu last week was yesterday arrested by detectives in Eldoret, who was in Gishu County. Of course, that's a story that was covered by the media throughout the weekend. And on page 4 of the Nation, Uhuru ruined the economy, says Ruto as he pleads for more time. He vowed to finish dams and other projects whose construction he claimed was stopped due to political reasons. Of course, the president saying, give us time to fix the economy that you yourself left in tatters. That the president yesterday speaking during a prayer event in Kericho Green Stadium in Kericho County. I want to look at a story in pages, of course, 6 and 7, where we look at the imminent vetting of the CS that is due to begin this morning. First in the chambers will be the ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, who has been nominated to take the slot of Prime Cabinet Secretary. He is the one that will begin the, of course, the vetting in Parliament this morning from 9 a.m. Later, Justin Muturi, who's been nominated for the position of Attorney General, will take into the chambers. Wahome, of course, will also take into the chambers, including a immediate former Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua, as well as Duale. Aden Duale, who has also been nominated for the Defense CS slot. So basically that is what is happening this morning in the Daily Nation. On the sports, the Daily Nation writes in page 39 that Salah downs Man City as Arsenal extend lead. Yesterday, of course, Liverpool beat Man City 1-0 at Anfield. A goal scored courtesy of Mohamed Salah. Arsenal winning 1-0 against Leeds at Elland Road. A goal courtesy of Bukayo Saka. Now, that's the Nation. What about the Standard this morning? The Standard top page, Ruto's fatal blow to killer police squad. President says he ordered the closure of the unit after officers turned into killers instead of protectors. The breakup opens the can of worms, that is extrajudicial killings and a force in dalliance with underworld. That story written in deep in page 13. You can have a look at that. Of course, a big interview conducted by the Standard in page 4. 7 staff role in taming his controversial son. Controversial military son. Museveni, the president of Uganda, of course, saying that his son must leave Twitter because of course, you know what has happened, transpired in the last couple of weeks, where Muhoozi, who is the president's son, had a lot of issues with the Kenyan KOT on issues that mentioned to do with the internal affairs of Kenya. And his father doesn't seem to be happy, saying that his son must leave Twitter if at all he wants to succeed him. But again, saying that he doesn't have a say on who is going to succeed him as long as the Ugandans will decide. That is a story on page 5 of the Standard. I want to have a look at page 8 of the same paper, saying, give us time to clean up Uhuru's mess, pleads President Ruto. Of course, all machetes, of course, held towards the former president, saying that he left behind a dilapidated economy. And of course, a story on page 10 about the vetting of the CSS beginning this morning. They've given a profile of Duale and of course of Alfred Mutua there, and the rest of what is happening in the parliament this morning. In page 40 of the Standard Sports, Man City walk alone at Anfield as Arsenal win. Arsenal extending their lead on the top of the log of the EPL by 4 points after they beat Leeds 1-0, and of course after Manchester City lost 1-0 to Liverpool. That is what is written in the papers. Choose one of your favorite and read deeply on the stories covered by the fellow journalists in there this morning. That's the newspaper review for you this morning. 18 minutes after 8 in the morning. And did I introduce myself at the beginning? I think not. My name is Vincent Kirosi, sitting in for my colleague Aida Munzaksi, who is away for a few weeks, but she'll be back. Quite a huge and enormous shoes for me to try and fill this morning, but we shall try. We take a short break. We'll be back with a little bit on what is happening on the news front, and of course our conversation on nutrition matters, health and weight management. Don't go away.
We welcome your feedback on our programming. For questions or comments, kindly get in touch with us via email info@kirktv.org, SMS 0111 220044, or call us on 0794 588 054.
Be a partner with us, willingly, motivated by God, and give generously. Give generously. And this will be a partner. And please, again, I plead with you, support Kirk TV. One, by appreciating it, turn on to it so that you watch what is going on. And do give us some comment, whether you write or you SMS or whatever. Do make some comment so that whatever we do, we need to be encouraged. We want to hear from you. Talk to us, and there are ways of doing so. The reason why I'm saying this, it is emphasis, even by your financial support. Every contribution you give will keep us tuned on, and be in the air. So that anytime you turn on, we are there. We will be getting help from you, and the good Lord will be speaking to us, and we shall be in the air.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 4019613, account partner. Pay bill number 4019613, account partner.
A mistake. I I am not a mistake. Welcome to Kirk Watoto. We're very glad to have you. In this show, we have 4 segments.
I always get excited for this particular moment when we raise generation for Christ.
You know that Jesus loves you so much and he has given you talents.
The aim of this program is to make sure that it nurtures your talent.
By the kuwa na baraka si pesa mingi, ni kuwa na Yesu ndani ya moyo wako na kujipenda na kujua ya kwamba you are not a mistake.
Wow! Let's do this. Let all the children come to me, because in the name.
Welcome back. Remember, you can join us on our socials, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and Kirk TV_Kenya on Twitter. Of course, our SMS number is 0311 000 2244. Of course, you can weigh in on the conversation this morning. But before then, let's have a look at news this hour. And we begin by looking at yesterday's interdenominational Thanksgiving service at the Green Stadium in Kericho, where President William Ruto was in attendance. Speaking to all who attended, President William Ruto spoke on uniting the country through service delivery to all Kenyans. Touching on the CBC curriculum, President Ruto stated that the committee set up will ensure that reforms have been made, promising to reduce the cost of education in Kenya.
We are going to make sure that we eliminate the feelings of marginalization, we deal firmly and decisively with inequality, and we make sure that the government of Kenya serves all citizens equally, because we have only one country to call home. Tutahakikisha ya kwamba elimu inapungua gharama, sio kuongeza. Parents must be able, even as we run the process of reform of our CBC, we will make sure that education becomes affordable.
Speaking about the disbanded Special Service Unit under the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, President William Ruto said that the step was taken to restore security and order in the country, claiming that the unit was used to direct extrajudicial killings, a move that the president has termed as illegal and of the past.
Waliharibu nchi yetu, watupatie nafasi tuifanyie ukarabati na tuipange iweze kwenda mbele. Walikuwa na miaka 5 ambayo walitumia kuharibu mambo ya nchi yetu. Uchumi ikaharibika, tukawa na madeni, mambo ya usalama ikaharibika, polisi wakabadilika wakawa ni watu wa kuwaua wa Kenya badala ya kuwalinda. Tumevunja ile ilikuwa inaitwa special sijui nini ya police ambayo ilikuwa inaua wa Kenya kiholela. That is the history we want to forget. Let our competitors not remind us of the many things they did against this country. We have also a plan on how to secure this country so that we avoid the shame of Kenyans killed through extrajudicial killings and put in Yala River and other rivers. We are going to secure this country.
Speaking at the same event where he had accompanied Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has asked the opposition to give their administration time before they start criticizing the decisions made by the Kenya Kwanza leadership. While speaking about the country's situation, Rigathi has said that under the leadership of President William Ruto, the Kenya Kwanza administration has prioritized restabilizing the country before implementing their promises to Kenyans.
sababu umechagua leo Kericho iwe mahala pa kukushukuru.
But yet the enemy assumed that they went and sat down and ate. As they were going, God amplified. Wanatatu wameshindwa. Kimi iliteuna. Anasikia tuko tu hivyo.
We cannot clean the mess, the economic mismanagement of 5 years in 30 days. What we are doing right now is cleaning their mess. And they cannot oversight us to clean their mess because they were part of the mess. Once we clean their mess, they start the oversight on our programs. Kwa sababu shida wametuachia ni kubwa. Si nilisema mara Kasarani, tumefika pale, store empty, nothing, tumekwama. So we have started cleaning their mess, first and foremost, by removing the public service from politics to service delivery. That is one of the gains. Na tumemwambia ma chief county commissioners, kazi ya siasa hapana kazi yenu. Mrudi kwa kazi ya kufanyia wananchi kazi. That is one of the way we are cleaning the mess. Tumeenda pale KRA, pesa ilikuwa naokotwa, watu wanajisaidia naye. William Ruto, president wetu, ametoa directive, pesa iokotwe ya kusaidia serikali. Is part of cleaning the mess that was there. We have agreed on the prioritization of projects. Tusifanye project ambayo ni a conflict of interest and state capture. Once we clean their mess, we invite our watu wa upinzani to start oversighting us. But they cannot oversight us cleaning the mess they created because they are...
Away from that, Tharaka-Nithi County Women Representative Susan Ngugi now wants the government to allow communities to continue preparing and selling their local brews. Susan has asked county government to put in place measures that will safeguard the growth of local brews since it is a source of income to local communities, terming it as safe.
Mtu anaenda anachoma makaa anakuja anashikwa, lakini ukienda kwa zile duka kubwa za matajiri utapata duka kubwa za makaa. Mnyonge anaenda anatafuta sali yake kutengeneza pombe kidogo ndio aweze kuuza. Unapata ya kwamba anashikwa ndio zile pombe za wazungu, Guinness, White Cup ndio zingine ziweze kuuzwa. Mimi naomba hivi, serikali ya county na serikali ya national government tulete sheria ambazo zitaweza kutunza na protect these small enterprises. Mambo yetu ya asali, mambo yetu ya mawele tupatiwe nafasi. Sheria iwekwe vizuri na kuwezesha Mudaraka atengeneza pombe yake ya kienyeji. Wale wanataka kunywa wakunywe, sababu hakuna wakati tangu kwa Biblia, tangu wakati wa Yesu. Hata Yesu anaenda akatengenezea watu pombe pale kwa harusi. Hakuna wakati watu watawacha kukunywa. Na hakuna mwenye amelazimishwa kunywa. Na anataka kunywa pombe ya kienyeji, kuwe na sheria mzuri, tuangalie mambo ya licensing, watu wapewe kukuwe na basi za kienyeji. Wanataka kukunywa pombe ya kienyeji enda kunywe na usafi. Wanataka kwenda kukunywa zile za wazungu enda kakunywe. Si ati sisi wa Afrika na mambo yetu imekuwa ni mabaya. Sasa pombe za wazungu ambazo mpaka ziko na preservatives, ziko mpaka na madawa, wengine wanakunywa mpaka wanahara, wengine wanashikwa na liver cirrhosis na kansa za hizo, lakini pombe ya
Well, that is it on the news. It's exactly 30 minutes, half an hour past 8 a.m. We want to go for a short one as well and come back with the conversation this morning. Remember, you can rein in on the conversation through our social media, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook, Kirk TV _ on Twitter, and of course on other platforms, including us SMS number 0311002244, and we'll be able to look at your feedback at the tail end of this show. Don't go away. We're coming back with a lot on the same, of course, on nutrition and matters weight management. These are conversations that you don't want to miss, especially headed into the festive holidays of the end of the year. This is a conversation that is going, of course, to bring you into light of what you need to do and not to do during this period. Don't go away. We are coming back shortly.
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90 647.
Keep it Kirk now and going forward. We have a lot of family programs, and this being a Christian commercial station, we will partner with you as institutions, as individuals, so that we are able to reach out to the entire world. One person said that my parish is the entire world, and I believe that Kirk TV is going globally, and therefore bring your business. We are going to advertise it and also partner with you.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
I've been together with Kirk TV. We've been working together. It has not been an easy journey, but I thank God because of the team we've been working with, and it has been a very resilient team, very focused, and people who are determined to see to it that Kirk TV stands and continues to thrive. And that team is the one which has caused Kirk TV to be what it is. And I want to thank all of you for this.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
God's call is overwhelming, powerful, that it takes people away from home. A man called Abraham in the Bible is told to go, by God, wake up, I'll show you, I'll tell you, I want you to go where I'm going to send you. On hearing that one, turns to his wife Sarah, and a donkey, and I don't know what else they carried, and they moved to some direction without knowing where they were going because God had called them. And today there are ministers who pick their partners and they go. They go. And I even met one last weekend who said they left cows, coffee plantation they had, because before taking the career as a minister, he was a school teacher and had a number of good milking cows and a number of coffee plantations and a good home. And because of God's call, again, they felt uprooted to move to the area where God sent them. And there are quite a number of ministers who move with their spouses. Today, it is not possible that wherever we transfer a minister, there will be a job available for an educated woman. And therefore, because of that reason, there is separation. A woman will stay at the place where she has a job, maybe a very good job, or even if she's not employed, she may be having a shop, and therefore she is selling some whatever, and she doesn't want to leave that. And so they agree. And what happens is that you have a minister who will be away for 2 weeks, and then by the third week he comes in and he gives himself 2-3 days, and then he goes back. We never pay the families over the weekend because actually that's when the churches need us. This is the time we preach. That's the time when we have weddings, ceremonies and so on, and also some church courts, church committees and boards are held on Saturdays. So we would go on a day called Monday and Tuesday. That is an issue. That's an issue. Okay, wife here with a job and children in school. Husband posted far away. And he's also a very responsible person there. Some ministers do carry a lot of responsibility. So there is separation of continuity of the smooth running of a family because of the ministry. You know, the church is about recovery when we are fallen out, when we fail. God will not kick us out. He will convict, convince, visit us with salvation. People will repent. Like somebody who said long ago that the church is not a museum of saints, but a school of sinners. So people keep on repenting and repairing their way, and they begin again. It may not be happening every day, but it doesn't happen very often. But if it happens here or there, it's because of the natural difficulties that are inevitable. But again, there are people who are mature, in the technical sense of the word, spiritually mature, and they resist the devil in every way. And we have got saints living here on earth who do good, lovely, beautiful job.
I am not a mistake. Welcome to Kirk Watoto. We're very glad to have you. In this show, we have 4 segments.
I always get excited for this particular moment when we raise generation for Christ.
You know that Jesus loves you so much, and he has given you talents.
The aim of this program is to make sure that it nurtures your talent.
By the kuwa na baraka si pesa mingi, ni kuwa na Yesu ndani ya moyo wako na kujipenda na kujua ya kwamba you are not a mistake.
Wow! Let's do this. Let all the children come to me. Do not hinder them.
Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
You'll find people talking about saying, we discussed this for the last 5 meetings, or for the last 2 years or 3 years, but nothing seems to move.
Here on Effective Manager, we help you get leadership and managerial tips.
You cannot be popular in the workplace as a leader. You can only be respected because of being fair and providing leadership.
Strategy and board advisory.
You do not need to put in unnecessary and undue pressure.
Stimulates new ideas in leadership and management.
You get an opportunity to bring diverse views and ideas to a problem so that you can be able to identify a lasting solution.
You can't afford to miss The Effective Manager with Dr. David Muturi, coming soon on Kirk TV.
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90647.
Keep it Kirk now and going forward. We have a lot of family programs, and this being a Christian commercial station, we will partner with you as institutions, as individuals, so that we are able to reach out to the entire world. One person said that my parish is the entire world, and I believe that Kirk TV is going globally, and therefore bring your business. We are going to advertise it and also partner with you.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
I've been together with Kirk TV. We've been working together. It has not been an easy journey, but I thank God because of the team we've been working with, and it has been a very resilient team, very focused, and people who are determined to see to it that Kirk TV stands and continues to thrive. And that team is the one which has caused Kirk TV to be what it is. And I want to thank all of you for this.
To partner with us, send your financial support to pay bill number 401-9613, account partner. Pay bill number 401-9613, account partner.
All right, welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning on Monday, of course, Matters Health. A little bit, we want to look at nutrition and weight management. But before then, because we're waiting for our guest, Felix Okoth, a nutritionist from Malta Hospital, to join us. But we want to look a little bit on what happened last week, it being a health week, and my colleague Aida Munzatsi, the health journalist here, had a tour, around the region, talking about health. And one thing she did is look at issue to do with the dialysis in a renal unit in PCH Ogoria Hospital. And let's have a little bit of a view, then we come back with our guest.
Where we will be bringing to you a number of issues this morning, as well as the day progresses. And right now we'll just be looking at kidney diseases with a focus on renal dialysis. And I'll just be joined in a few with a clinical officer who works right here at the renal unit at PCH Ogoria Hospital, where we will be, she'll be helping us just understand diseases of the kidney as well as a renal unit, as I had mentioned earlier on. My name is Aida Munzatsi. Remember, the broadcast is coming to you live from PCEA at Chogoria Hospital, and we will be looking at a renal unit as well as diseases of the kidney. Remember, the broadcast is once again coming to you live as a result or a courtesy of the PCEA Health Week, where we have been bringing you a number of programs just to improve on your health as well as well-being, as well as informing you on matters health. As I mentioned, we are being joined by Hilary Karimi, who is a clinical officer right here at PCH Ogoria Hospital Renal Unit. Hilary, karibu sana. Truly look forward to learning from you and just trying to explain to our audience over what exactly dialysis is, as well as the kidney diseases. Just probably an introduction. Yeah.
Thank you. So, my name is Hilary. I am a clinic officer working in renal unit here at Chogoria Hospital. I have been here, this is my second year. Okay, I've been here at Chogoria for 2 years, and I have been working at renal unit for 1 year, and will appreciate people to learn from me. All right. Okay.
Great, and as I mentioned, we truly look forward to learning from you. A number of people do not necessarily understand probably how to take care of their kidneys, the signs that would come with a kidney failure, and that's exactly what we just look forward to learning from you. Probably just for the basis and just trying to understand how the kidney performs.
Yeah, so a kidney is a very important organ in our bodies. It has so many functions in our body. There are two of them. We have two kidneys in our bodies, like we have the left and the right kidney. The kidney, the main function that we're going to discuss today, it's the kidney helps in excretion of waste and fluids in the body. So this is our main focus of today. This is our main function that we're going to deal with today. Thank you.
So just talking about the function that it performs, how exactly, what are some of the waste products that the kidney helps in excreting?
Yeah, so one of the waste products in the body is urea, creatinine. We also have fluid, as I said earlier. So those are the main waste products that the kidney excrete in our bodies.
Yeah. And when these products are excreted or just removed from our bodies, does this help probably the body perform its function better, and as well as the blood probably?
Yeah, so if the kidney doesn't excrete these waste in our bodies, they remain in our system, that is in our blood, which affect our systems in so many ways. So as I said, we also have potassium as a waste product. So if potassium remains in our system, it can cause cardiac arrest, which is a danger to our health. So another waste product is urea. If it remains in our system, it can cause encephalopathy, that is, it affects our brain. It can also cause uremic encephalopathy, gastritis, that is where you vomit because urea is high. So it is important for this waste to come out of our bodies. Yeah.
All right, and I'm sure if These waste are not coming out of our bodies. There are signs that our bodies will start showing for us to know that the kidneys are not performing their functions properly. What are some of the signs that will show up?
Yeah, so some of the signs that patients present with who have kidney failure, that is where you have excess waste in your bodies, some of these signs are patients come with edema, that is where their bodies are swollen because of fluid retention. Another symptom is they come vomiting because of the high urea. They also complain of nausea. So they also fatigue and restlessness, and then they can also come with encephalopathy. That is where they come in a coma, like where the alertness is low. So those are the main presentations that we see in patients. Yeah.
Does probably the skin start changing, or what other changes?
Yeah, so if urea accumulates on the skin, they form this scaly. So the skin is it's dry, and then it appears as scaly, like it has scales. Yeah, because of accumulation of urea in the body. Yeah.
And now I just looking at from my understanding, it's one of it just helps the kidney in performing its functions. So once I start experiencing these signs, do I start dialysis immediately, or what happens?
Yes. So if you come with these symptoms, first we need to investigate the cause of your kidney failure. That is when the patient comes, you do a number of tests. That is, you do UECs, number one. UECs is urea kidney function. So these UECs helps you in knowing the function of the kidney. So UECs test for urea in your blood, potassium, creatinine, chloride, and sodium. So if a patient comes with kidney injury, they will present with low sodium. The sodium goes down. Chloride also goes down. Potassium goes up. Normal potassium is between 4.5 and 5.5. So if it goes above that, then that is a danger that shows us we should do something urgently. So another thing that is tested in UECs is urea. So if urea is above 10, it's another thing that shows us that you have a kidney failure. So after this, we can also do an ultrasound of the kidney. So the ultrasound shows you if your kidney is acutely failed or it's a chronic kidney disease. So when you do an ultrasound, the kidney can be shrunken. So if your kidney is shrunken on an ultrasound, it shows you've had this condition for a while. So, and if your ultrasound is normal, it helps you know if the patient has acute. So if on an ultrasound the kidneys are normal, then it shows that you have had this on an acute phase, which will help you on management of this patient. Because if they have an acute disease, it means they will require short-term dialysis, and if they have a chronic disease, they will require long-term dialysis. Yeah.
Of the signs that you've just mentioned, with a kidney failure, does it just affect the kidney or other parts of the body? There are other parts of the body that are also affected as well?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, if these waste accumulate in our body, they affect the brain, they can affect GIT system, they can affect your heart, because your heart will pump more blood so that it excretes this water that has accumulated in your body, so it will also affect your heart. Yeah.
Okay. Once again, this morning we are coming to you live from a PCEH Chogoria Hospital, and we are focusing on the kidneys, just as Hillary has been able to explain to us. She's explained over some of the functions of the kidney, as well as just how the kidney performs. She's also been able to let us know over some of the signs and symptoms as well that you'll start experiencing for you to know that your kidneys are not performing their functions properly, or your kidneys are beginning to fail. And as I mentioned, still we are coming to you live from the renal unit right here at a PCEH Chogoria Hospital, and with the help of Hillary, we'll just be able to understand now what exactly dialysis is, and how exactly these particular machines that she'll still be able to let us know, understand how the machine performs. So Hilary, are now just looking at dialysis, which we want to mainly focus on this morning. What exactly is dialysis?
Yeah, so dialysis is whereby since your kidneys are failed, so you use an artificial kidney to remove the waste in your body. Basically, that's what dialysis is. So in dialysis, we use the number of things that we use. We need a dialysis machine. We need the tubings that will connect blood to the dialyzer, which is our artificial kidney. Then the dialyzer removes the waste from blood to the system. Then the blood goes back to the patient's system. Yeah, basically that is what is dialysis.
Removed from the patient's body, or?
So these tubes, we have one tube that removes blood from the patient. It goes to the dialyzer. Then the dialyzer has tubings, small tubings that have fibers, so many fibers. So these fibers have a membrane. So this membrane acts as the exchange between the blood and the dialysis. So in a machine, we use we have bicarbonate, we have acid and water. So these three things forms a dialysis, which is our another concentration that exchanges with the blood. So the dialyzer acts as the membrane for the exchange. So after the exchange, this waste is removed from the blood of the patient. Then a fresh blood is then returned to the patient's body through another tube.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long will the entire process takes? Because I'll just say I've been here for quite some time now, and the patients that were on the machines just are placed on the machines, and I think that is something that our audience at home can see. How long will you say the entire process of now the dialysis takes?
Yeah, so generally they are 4 hours. We do dialysis for 4 hours. This helps with excreting this waste without affecting the patient, because we also have side effects that happen to the patients during dialysis. So you don't want to do dialysis for a very long time, like 5-6 hours, because patients need to be stabilized. So you can't remove a lot of waste. So you just remove for 4 hours so that the patient can be stable. Yeah.
And what are some of these side effects that we are looking at?
Yeah, so the common side effects that we get on dialysis is hypotension, whereby the blood pressure drops. So another complication is hypoglycemia, whereby the sugars also go down. They get itchiness and cramping. So during dialysis, we also ultrafiltrate fluid. At the same time, dialysis itself removes the waste products like urea, potassium, and creatinine, but we also do another process called ultrafiltration that filters excess fluid from the patient's body. So during this process of ultrafiltration, because you're forcing water out of the patient, it can cause cramping of muscles. So you can see when you have a patient, you have a lot, like 5 liters, then they start complaining of muscle aches. So that's when you opt to stop the process of ultrafiltration. So those are the common complaints that we get in dialysis.
Okay, and probably someone is wondering, does dialysis replace kidney transplant, or what exactly happens?
Okay, on that, so no, it doesn't. Dialysis itself acts as a way of prolonging life before you plan for the kidney transplant. So, for example, you have a very sick patient who comes in and you need to help this patient to be stable. So you have to do dialysis first before you plan for the kidney. So once the patient is stable, they need a number of tests so that they undergo the transplant, and there's a lot of preparation before they start the kidney transplant process. So dialysis acts as it helps the patient by then. So they need dialysis before they plan for the transplant. Yeah.
And are they usually on any other medication other than dialysis, or is it just dialysis and no other medication?
Yeah, so to comment on that, dialysis is caused by a number of diseases. So the common diseases are like diabetes, hypertension, nephrotic syndrome. So you will find by the time they get kidney disease, they have already had hypertension for a long time. So, and they have been on medication for their hypertension. So you will find they'll need to continue with the medication they have been using and still go ahead and do the dialysis. Yeah.
And mentioning of, let me just give an example of the diabetes medication. Will you say probably just being on the diabetes medication for a long period of time ends up affecting your kidney? Or when I am on the diabetes or hypertension or any other, let me just talk of a long life conditions, as I'm undergoing this particular treatment, am I supposed to be checking on other organs, including the kidney as well?
Yes. So you will find diabetes itself affects your kidneys because high sugar levels, they are not filtered in the kidney, so they affect your filtration of the kidney. So you will find if your glycemic control is not good, you will find these patients also can get kidney failure at the same time. So if you have diabetes, hypertension, it is good to control your hypertension and your glycemic control before getting kidney disease. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Take you back, you've mentioned over 4 hours. That's the period of time that probably the dialysis process takes. After the dialysis or after the 4 hours, am I admitted or does the patient go back home? Then they come again for another dialysis?
Yeah. So for that, so if a patient is admitted, so you see, if a patient come at the beginning of dialysis, a phase where we start dialysis, most of them are very sick and they are required to be admitted. So once they are done with dialysis, they go back to the ward. Those are for the ones who are admitted. But once they are stable and discharged, they go home. They can do dialysis from home. They come do dialysis for 4 hours and then go back home. They do it twice weekly. Okay. Yeah.
Now, talking twice weekly, those are like 8 hours a week. How cheap or how expensive is a dialysis?
Yeah, so dialysis is quite expensive. So you will find, especially those patients that are not NHIF insured, they really struggle to get dialysis because, for example, here in Chogoria, one dialysis session is 8,500. So it's very hard to get like 17,000 in a week for you to get dialysis. And to add on that, they need EPO and iron. So EPO is there's an injection that we use to boost your HB because here at dialysis they get a lot of anemia because of dialysis. So we use EPO to boost their HB. So if a patient is cash paying, they'll need EPO and iron, which is around 1,400 shillings. So you will find in a week they'll need around 18,400 for dialysis, which is so expensive to afford. So, but the good thing is NHIF covers for dialysis. So most of them do dialysis without paying, so it's free. They also get free EPO and iron if they're NHIF insured. So I would advise people to really get NHIF insurance. Yeah. Okay.
So the benefits of just coming to PCH Chogoria Hospital renal unit is that you also accept NHIF for the dialysis. Yeah, which is a very great thing, I must say, because not all hospitals actually accept NHIF for such procedures. And now, since the launch of this particular unit, what would you say, first of all, just pushed the hospital to actually launch and have a dialysis unit?
Yeah, so to say that there is a high incidence of kidney disease in Kenya generally. There are so many kidney diseases that require dialysis. So if we put in such dialysis unit here, it helps the patients around, because I can remember the last time I heard of dialysis, the first time I heard of dialysis was in KNH, which was far away. So you imagine if a patient is very sick and they need urgent dialysis, they have to go all the way to KNH to get dialysis. So dialysis unit being here, it helps so many patients. It helps them with doing dialysis at least twice weekly. Yeah.
Okay, and for how many patients would you say you see in a day? And just take us through generally the unit itself.
Yeah, so this unit we have 12 machines. 3 of them are special machines. We call them special because they are isolated. Like we isolate HIV, hepatitis B and hepatitis C. The rest are general machines, so anyone can be connected in the rest of the machines. So in a day we can see around 20 patients. We do dialysis in shifts. So for example, the first shift starts at 6 a.m. So once they come 6 a.m., they do the first shift for 4 hours, then we disconnect and connect the second shift. Yeah.
That's a capacity bed of how many?
So sometimes we also go for around 3 shifts, depending on the patients that are scheduled for that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We just have an opportunity probably for you to show us how a dialysis machine works, but right now we'll take a very short break. Remember, we are coming to you live from a PCEA Chogoria Hospital, right at the hemodialysis or just the renal unit, where we have been looking at dialysis, or generally just looking at the diseases of the kidney with the help of Hilary Karemi, our clinical officer right here at the renal unit. She's been able to help us in understanding how the kidney performs, and as well as the signs that you will tell that your kidneys are not performing their functions well, or just that your kidneys are failing. Once again, the broadcast is being brought to you live courtesy of a PCEA Health Week. So we take a very short break. When we come back, we'll now be looking at the dialysis machine.
Welcome back. This is Kirk in the morning. Of course, Vincent Kirosi right here, enjoying in studio with our guest now, the one that we've been waiting for, Felix Okoth. He is an clinical nutritionist at Mater Hospital, and he help us understand this topic: nutrition, health, diet, and weight management. Karibu sana, daktari. We know that everyone that works in a hospital is a daktari, is it? Are you one?
Hata mtu wa kukata ng'ombe ni daktari. My name is Felix.
Yes, Felix.
As you have said, Vincent.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure. And we'll impact the community with the knowledge that we have.
Yes.
To assist them change different lifestyle behaviors that they have that impact them negatively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's begin from here. What's health diet? Let's begin from there. How do I know that my diet is healthy?
Okay.
Yeah.
So a healthy diet generally is a diet that will impact your health positively, and in a way that is not going to lead you to most of these lifestyle diseases. Is a type of diet that provides your body with all the nutrients that enable it to function properly as required. Remember, your heart needs to beat, your kidney needs to clear, your brain needs to function, and even you need energy to move here and there. So when that body provides that nutrients to do all that, to help you fight infection, to help your immunity be okay, help your blood be normal, or the hemoglobin levels be normal, the white blood cells, then we say it's healthy diet. So a healthy diet comprises of all nutrients that provide all this, and it consists of what? Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are types of food that gives you energy. And we said we need energy to function. As you are seated, you are breathing.
Yeah.
You require that energy. So carbohydrates comes from food, like we call them starch. So starch are grouped into two classes. We have what we call the healthy starch, and we have what we call the starch, simple starch. So healthy starch or carbohydrates are grouped in simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Complex, as the name means that the body takes time to digest them because they are complex in nature. So they're the best type of carbohydrates that we should eat, because that slower digestion slowly release energy that the body will use. Okay, but if you take something or a carbohydrate that is digested so fast and the energy is released so fast, it will overwork the body and the body won't use that energy in that time. So excess of that energy will be stored as fat. Excess of that energy can overwork your pancreas to produce insulin and lead you to diabetics and several on. Excess fat storage can lead you to cholesterol. So complex carbohydrates are things like ugali. Let's say the things we move from the farm, okay? Things like ugali, things like wheat, things like maize. Things like maize, we have maize, we make porridge with it. Things like we have chapati wheat from wheat, like the yams, the arrowroots, the potatoes, the cassavas, cereals, general cereals. Those are complex carbohydrates. Now the simple ones are mostly derived from these carbohydrates to make them easier for us to use. And these are things like, yes, Irish potatoes is as natural and complex. But the moment you make chips out of it, it's still Irish potato, but you made it a bit simpler or not, the energy component is now high. There is the energy in potato, there is the energy in fat. That becomes like a junk to the body. Then the sodas, okay? Sugar is from sugarcane, and even other flours are sugar. But the moment you derive it, it becomes so simple for the body to break down. And any sugary food like soda, sweets, biscuits, mandazis, these commercial juices, and many more, those are now simple carbohydrates. If they get in the body doesn't take time to digest them, they go direct. Now remember, carbohydrates, you say they give you energy. When the stomach digests carbohydrates, it releases glucose out of it. Be it the complex ile ugali, nduma, and all the rest, or the simple soda, sweets, and all the rest, when they're digested, the main aim is to release glucose. Now the difference comes in the rate at which they release glucose. So we say the complex slowly, the simple faster, okay? Now once the glucose is released, near the stomach we have an organ called the pancreas. So the work of the pancreas is tend to release an hormone called the insulin, which is liquidic in nature. So this insulin, once it's released, it goes to the bloodstream, because the stomach has digested. Through the stomach, there are bloodstream. The glucose is taken through the bloodstream. Now the glucose need to move from the bloodstream to the cells to be used as energy. So once the pancreas releases insulin, it attaches to the glucose and take it to the cells. Now what is the danger that now affect the life cell? The one that is releases faster from the simple sugars will also induce the pancreas to release insulin in a faster rate. And in this, if you take them long term, they tend to overwork your pancreas. And once the pancreas is overworked, the insulin production can be either in excess, or it reaches a time the pancreas can't produce enough insulin. What will happen? The work of insulin is to open the cells so that the sugar gets in, or the glucose gets in. So the cells become resistant to the sugar. So they don't go to the cells, or the pancreas, the insulin can't take them to the cells. So most of the sugar will remain in the bloodstream, and this leads you to diabetes. When you take a lot of this excessive carbohydrates or simple carbohydrates, the faster release of energy, the body won't be able to use that energy at once. And this excess of it will be stored in the fat, as fat in the liver, and then later on in the muscles and general body. The more the fat is stored, what happens? Cholesterol buildup. Cholesterol buildup, they block your nerves. When the nerves or the arteries or the veins are blocked, insufficient of circulation of blood, the heart will tend to pump extra harder. And what is going to happen after that? When the heart pumps extra harder, the pressure will be regular. So higher chances of high blood pressure. You getting the connection?
Yes.
So apart from that, these simple sugars also tend to lead to inflammation of the body. More inflammation lead to arthritis and uric acid accumulation that leads to arthritis and all that. Apart from that, now we've talked of carbohydrates. Then we have a group of food that makes a healthy diet, also called the protein. Now, protein comes from both animal and plant protein, okay? So animal protein, we have either the red meat or the white meat. So what is the difference between the red meat and the white meat? The difference between the red meat and the white meat is that the red meat has more waste of protein component. When protein is digested, they release waste in the form of something called purine. So purine then changes to uric acid. So the higher the redder the meat, the higher the uric acid that can cause gout, arthritis, and all that. So white meat has lesser than the fat component also. So that's why we say take more of the white meat than the red meat, but both of them have protein. Then we also, the animal protein, we have chicken, we have fish, we have beef, we have eggs, we have milk. Those are animal protein. Then the plant protein, we have the beans, the cereals now, beans, green grams, yellow, and all those other beans, kamandenjai and all the rest. So the difference between plant protein and animal protein is that animal protein has higher protein component. It has a protein that is easy to absorb and digest, and it also have higher iron levels. But plant protein has low protein levels, low iron levels, not easy to digest. So both of them are still important for the body. But why do we say take more plant protein than animal protein? Because that plant protein do not contain a lot of fat, so low chances of getting to lifestyle diseases. Plant protein do not contain a lot of the waste in form of uric acid, but both of them are healthy. So protein generally, we say starch is for energy. Protein, our organs need to renew itself. The cells need to renew itself. Replenish generally. So it helps in replenish the cells and growth of organs, because when I cut a skin is an organ, it needs to heal up. Immunity component is in protein. Different cell function, protein helps in that. Provision of iron, protein help in doing that, okay? Then we have the vegetables now. We call vitamins. Vitamins is fruits and vegetables. So vegetables are vitamins that tend to absorb all the nutrients in protein and the nutrients in carbohydrate. Vegetables also tend to cleanse the system, okay? Because they have fiber content, the mishipa, they tend to control your digestion, okay? And that also help you in movement of bowel to prevent constipation. When you have constipation or there is poor movement of bowel, there is chances of bad bacterial growth in the stomach. And this is what impairs digestion, can lead to cancer and colon cancer and all the rest. Then we have the fruits that gives you vitamin C for immunity, absorption of iron, and also for your skin. And generally, water also comes a part of a healthy diet because helping digestion, absorption of nutrients, lubricating the organs, controlling the acid levels in your body, and also preventing constipation and cleansing your kidneys, controlling your pressure, removing excess sugar in your body, and so on. Generally, that is a healthy diet. So you need all this component of food to give you all what your body requires. So if you lack any of them, let's say even you lack water, you're eating food and you lack water, that's not a healthy diet, because that component that what is to play is not going to be played in. And that will slowly prevent your let's say cleansing your system, and you can add kidney issues. And that can lead you to lifestyle disease like kidney issue and all that. So every component of food is important for the body.
It's important.
Yes.
What a packed and articulate way to begin the conversation. I want us to look at the habitual ways, you know, because some of these things to do with habits that we build. But before then, or still on health diet, you know, all these, is it health to or ranges of ages, you know, from the child all through to the, you know, to old age. How should I ensure that my child who is maybe 6 months, 8 months old, and my grandma back at Ushago, who is 80 and 90 old, how do I balance their diet? Is it healthy for everyone? All this that you mentioned, to ages.
Okay, so balanced diet is for all.
Okay.
But now what differs is the portion of the balanced diet. And the portion of the balanced diet depends on age and activity level, okay? But also age, nutrients requirement as per the age also differs. When a child is growing, their organs are growing bigger, the bones, right? And different organs, they're growing and maturing. So a child requires more energy component than even an adult who is 60 years old, okay? Because to help them grow and develop. Now, for an healthy, let's say 60-year-old, yes, they require also a balanced diet, but now their portion goes down, and mostly what goes down is the starch component because the activity levels have reduced. Remember, the child plays, they're growing and all that, but as an adult, you're not doing that. So, but you require protein to replenish your cells. Now, what is similar in the two people, apart from the balanced diet that you have said, is the calcium requirement. Both a child and an elderly person above 60 require calcium because a child requires calcium for stronger bone development, heart muscle development, and that's why when children don't get enough calcium, actually when a child is 6 months, we need to advise them to go to the pediatrician so that they check their calcium levels, they check their vitamin D levels, and they check their iron levels because low calcium levels can lead to rickets. And even heart muscles, poor heart muscles development, poor scalp development, the head circumference is checked at 1 year, at 6 months, at 1 year. Iron is required for neurons. The neurons are the nerves in the brain that communicate through our brain the messages that we see, that we receive, okay? So the neuron of every human being grows from around 0 to 6 months, they double, they triple at 1 year, and at that. So the 0 to 2 years, the neuron develop. So if they don't develop well at this time, and they require iron so that those cells around there are well activated and stimulated, and double and triple the cells of the brain. So if the brain doesn't get enough iron, then you will have a poor brain quality because at 2 years, after 2 years, the brain just increases in size. So the neuron shall have developed. So this child, the reasoning capacity will be lower. So iron requirements is higher that time. Calcium requirements is higher for the bones, you say heart muscles and all that. Vitamin D helps in absorption of calcium. Okay, calcium comes from milk, come from fish, come from eggs, come from green leafy vegetable. Vitamin D the same from milk, from fish, from eggs, and these vegetables. But it needs sunlight to activate it so that it gets in. When you eat from food, it's called D2. It's inactivate vitamin D, but the sunlight activates it. So the elderly also require calcium because their bones get weak, and that's why when they lack a lot of calcium, they start bowing downwards. So require calcium. So both of them are necessary. But we say the difference is the child require more starch, the elderly require low starch. Both of them require more protein. Both of them require vitamins, okay? And apart from that, both of them require water. Now the difference now is the portion of food. A child will require more portion, an elderly will require low portion because the activity is low. So the balanced diet cuts across and unless 1 or 2 vitamins that can differ. Yes.
I've seen my grannies grow old and they decide now it's time to put aside white ugali and they go for brown ugali. That also is because of starch and all that?
Actually for me, you see, I would say that there is information you get from the books, and then there is experience out of research. Okay, starch is a starch. Okay. So long as imetolewa kwa shamba, starch ni starch. If I ask you, if you go to a rice farm, is there a place that is brown rice this side and there is white rice this side?
It's rice.
It's rice. So rice is rice. They have the same starch amount, the same caloric amount or energy amount. Now the difference between the brown and the white is in the milling. Okay? So the brown is milled with the husk. The white, they remove the husk. But even if it's milled with the husk, 100 grams of white rice, 100 grams of brown rice is the same amount of energy. The difference will come on digestion, okay? On digestion. So if you know you are obese, okay? You're already obese, the weight is already high, and we'll talk of what is obesity. If you know you are overweight, we'll talk of what is overweight. If you know you have lifestyle diseases such as either cancer, either diabetes or hypertension, then stick to brown because we don't want something that will release the energy so fast, inflammate our cells or overwork our pancreas or lead to more accumulation of fat. We want something that is slowly digested that the body will take. But if your weight is normal, you're just a normal person, then there is no issue of brown or white, because we have said the difference is only on energy uptake.
Okay.
But at the end of digestion, they have the same amount of energy. So kama unakula white rice na unajua haina starch, because the difference between white and brown is brown has the husk, right? And white has no husk, so the digestion rate. Then add the vegetable to be more to act as fiber in the white. You see? So yes, the elderly, they can take the brown, but it's not a must.
And that is where balancing comes in.
Yes, now the balancing of the portion now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, great. Now, after all this, now we look at, because our eating habits also will lead us now to, further develop our weight. And sometimes you hear you're underweight, you're overweight, you're obese. Can you talk a little bit about what's healthy weight for anybody? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a healthy weight, what is a healthy weight?
Yeah.
The only category or the tool that we have to measure weight actually is the BMI factor. So BMI generally is body mass index. So the body mass index is your weight in correlation to your height. Okay. So you'll go to a weighing scale, they'll check your weight, and also they check your height. So then they get what we call the BMI, your height in correlation to your weight. So how do we get the BMI? Is current weight. Let's say I'm 60 kg. Maybe I can use my calculator so that we get
it. You have. Yeah,
yes, just on my phone.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm 60 kgs, okay? A minute I'm opening my calculator. So I'm 60 kgs and my height is 162 centimeters. So we've said is in weight in kg over height in meter squared. So we have to change the height, the centimeters into meters. So 162 centimeters is 1.62 meters. If it is in feet, let's say I'm 5'4" feet, you multiply the feet times 0.033. Okay. You'll get into meters. Okay. So once I get I'm 1.62. So is current weight in kg over height in meters squared. So 1.62 times 1.62 becomes 2.6. So is my current weight, which is 60 divided by 2.6. So 60 divided by 2.6 becomes 23.0. Okay. Now when we get that, now we are able to grade the BMI. So the BMI ranges. So when the BMI is below 18.5, then you are considered underweight. Okay. When it's below 16, you are considered severe underweight. And you are severe underweight. Remember that we have something called malnutrition. So malnutrition is either excess of energy intake or under of the energy intake. So you are severely malnourished when your weight is below 16, and there are health implications that can come in. Hormonal issues, poor menstrual cycle, loss of memory, lack of energy, lack of esteem and all that, infections and all that. Then when the BMI is 18.5 to 24.9, you are considered normal. Okay? 18.5 to 24.9 is normal. When we have done our calculation the way we've done. Then 25.1 to 29.9 is overweight. So when you are overweight, you have chances of more accumulation of fat that will now lead to cholesterol and all that. But now when the moment you reach 30.1 and above, up to 39.9, you are obese. 40, you are now extremely obese. But now when you're obese, we also measure something called the waist circumference, the tummy. So for every woman, the tummy, the waist circumference should not be above 70 centimeters. When it's above 70, you have chances of getting lifestyle diseases.
Non-pregnant woman, for that matter.
Non-pregnant, yes, you're very right. Yes. And then also, for men, 80 centimeters. So above anything above, let's say anything above 30.1, you are obese. Anything above 25.1, you are overweight. So if I'm 23, I'm between 18.5 to 24.9, I'm normal in that way. Okay. So what will lead to obesity? That will be a question, the next question. We have now categorized what is obesity. So what will lead to obesity? We have medical conditions that will lead to obesity. And apart from medical condition, we have also the genetic factor. So the genetic factor, yes, you will be obese. Your weight will be higher than the height on the weighing scale. But that doesn't mean you should accumulate fat. It's like the bones are heavier because of the genes.
Yeah.
But when the moment now you accumulate fast, you have belly even though you're big, it's now not genetical because the bigness will be on the bones and heaviness, but not on fat accumulation. It's similar. If I start going for weightlifting in the gym and I grow bigger muscle and I'm weighed, it doesn't mean I'm obese. Those are muscle. I'm not obese. So similar to someone in Turkana who is very thin due to genetics, they are not underweight. Okay, and that's why the BMI factor should be well checked.
Yeah.
So we've said the genetic factor. We also have hormonal component, and hormone, we have the thyroid. The thyroid is an hormone, a gland near the neck, okay? So its work is to produce hormone called the thyroid hormone that help to control different hormones in the body and also uptake of salt in our system. Salt helps for the brain, salt helps for the bones, but it requires minimal depending on your condition because it has iodine, okay? So when the thyroid hormone fails to produce enough of it, it's called hypothyroidism. And people with hypothyroidism tend to gain too much weight. Okay? Because it impairs their insulin function. Apart from that, we have a condition called PCOS, okay? Polycystic ovarian syndrome. That is a condition.
What?
PCOS.
Yeah.
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
This is a condition whereby it's an hormonal condition in women whereby the hormones are a bit imbalanced. So that the ovaries tend to grow bigger than normal and they also form a cyst or a growth in it. And it can lead to tumors and all that. So such condition, polycystic ovarian syndrome, women with that condition, you tend to see them growing beards. I hope you've seen that. You see them growing beards.
I've seen a number of them.
Yes, they are bigger than normal. Such condition, they tend also to impair the insulin function. And that's why they gain a lot of weight. And in that way, now we should control the starch, our source of energy. Apart from that, now we have also stress factor is an hormone. Stress can make you gain weight and become obese. And a part of that, we also have inactivity. You just sit and eat. You don't use that energy. You'll gain weight. And excessive eating, and most we say the junk food, sugary foods, the sodas, the commercial juices. We have the energy drinks. We have you take 4 cups of tea in a day. A cup of tea has 2 teaspoons of sugar. If you take 3 of them or 4 of them, that is 8 teaspoons of sugar. If you take in a week 8 times 7, that is
56.
In a month, how many teaspoons of sugar are you taking?
That could be times 4, 56 times 4.
So you are not eating. You are not eating much during the day, but you take a number of cups of tea and you start questioning yourself, why am I gaining weight? It's your cup of tea, the cakes, the mandazis you take, you see, the portion of number of your slices of bread and all that. This excessive intake of food, ugali you want to take mulema, rice is mulema, excessive energy, and you never take vegetables to control that. You never take water to help you cleanse that. You never do exercise to help you burn that. You either avoid lunch, but because you have stayed long, you took breakfast, and you have avoided lunch, you are going to take supper unapasua, and you're not going to use that energy unless you're dreaming someone is chasing you. So it accumulates and then you wonder why you're gaining weight. So excessive intake of food, hormonal factor, genetical factor, stress factor, and excessive intake of we have said sugary food and medical condition can make you be obese. Yes.
That's about obesity, but what about underweight? Because that's I think we tend to look too much into overweight and
we live underweight.
Yeah.
Yes. So underweight is also a medical condition, and one of them we have talked of hypothyroidism. Thyroid hormone is produced in low amount, but there is also the other type whereby it's produced in a large amount, hyperthyroidism. You will also tend to lose weight. Stress can also make you lose weight because it tends to depress appetite. We have mental disorders that also can make you lose weight. Mental disorders help you lose weight and they lead to feeding, different feeding procedures that people use. Either some people don't just want to eat due to the medication loss of appetite. Things like cancer. Cancer can make one lose weight because cancer leads to a lot of metabolism or breakdown of energy to tend to replenish the cells and all that, to manage the organs and all that. So metabolism rate is high, and also the medication tend to lead people to lose appetite, okay? So lead to cachexia, whereby the appetite is so high, so you've drastically lost weight. Diabetic can lead people lose weight, because when you're diabetic and the sugar levels are controlled, you have drastic weight loss, because the sugar is more in your bloodstreams, the cells are not getting sugar, so the body tend to break down the muscles for energy, you lose weight. Pregnant mothers who are not feeding enough also have higher chances of giving birth to underweight babies or preterm babies. A baby who is underweight or preterm, who, if not well fed or well breastfed, they can end up being underweight for future, okay? Apart from that, insufficient feeding, you're not feeding enough. Either you're feeding 1 meal a day, you will also lose weight. You are engaging in mjengo, but you only drink milk, you will also not tend to gain weight. And different hormonal factors. And either when one is sick also, a prolonged disease or infection, you will also tend to lose weight, because the body requires energy and to fight disease and also replenish the organs, but you don't have that. You will also tend to lose weight, among others. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good conversation. But another problem is people don't know this. People don't understand this. How do you make people understand that this is the habit you need to build for you to remain the optimum in terms of weight, generally in your health? How do you inform people? Because, you know, unless people watch a program like this, unless people listen, unless people read, they might not be able to know. How do you make people know in terms of the environment that they live in?
Actually, gaining weight or losing weight is not difficult. It's so easy, but it requires discipline. And I see people going for gastric balloon surgery and all that. You know the gastric balloon surgery? It's called bariatric surgery for weight loss. That should be last option when you've tried diet and exercise and it has failed. Now, how do you maintain a healthy weight? One, just try your best to play within the balanced diet. And balanced diet is not expensive. Just try take breakfast, try take lunch, try take supper. Okay? In simple terms, we will say we are in very harsh economical time, and it will be different for a common person to do that. We've talked of balance. It's not hard for you to get a cup of uji in the morning.
It's hard. It's hard for
some people.
For some families.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
If you can get milk tea, it might not be hard for you to get strong tea. True? Now, the person who is ushago, those people rear chicken, right? When they rear chicken, they either go buy for a child a soda na mkate, but they can't take an egg. Why can't they take? Then hata kama it's strong tea, they take the strong tea, the egg, and maybe nduma. It's not hard for them to get nduma from the market or from the farm. It's not hard for them to get sweet potato. It's not hard for them to get groundnuts. It's not hard for them to get boiled maize or roasted maize.
They have, you know, backyard gardens.
Yes, yes. So why can't they take those simple things? Or, but mtu wa ushago, it's not hard for them to get porridge. And let me tell you, porridge is cheaper than even drinking tea. The difference between tea and porridge is tea has milk, which has calcium and protein. But you can get that protein for lunch if it's difficult for you. I would say a normal 500 grams of porridge flour costs about 120. True or false? 120, 150.
Probably, yeah.
For how long will you use this bag? It will take even 3 weeks. And that's 120. 50 ml of milk is now 60 shillings. So 2 days, 120 is gone. So if you know that you're not able to sustain yourself, why can't you take porridge then? Because if you have to take tea, a cup of tea and bread, that is around 150 shillings for now. You see, and you're claiming you can't eat, so you are foregoing breakfast. Then take your uji with the other groundnuts in the morning. Groundnuts also have some protein. So like a handful of groundnuts and a cup of uji, or a cup of uji and 1 boiled egg. A boiled egg is 15 shillings, right? So you will be much healthier because that it's well balanced. A cup of uji and a boiled egg, or a cup of uji and 2 or 3 serving spoon beans. Beans are even cheaper, right? That is still balanced, right? Or if you want to, you now have money, you can take a cup of tea, 2 slices bread, or 3 slices bread, not excess than 4 for those who want to gain weight. Or a fish size ndoma, or 1.5 fish size or 2 fish size ndoma for those who want to gain weight. If you are diabetic, you want to lose weight, a fish size ndoma. Or you can take 2 serving spoon rice, brown or white. All right? Or sweet potato, a fish size, or a 1.5 or 2 fish size. Or githeri, 2 or 3 serving spoon githeri. Is that not easy to get for breakfast? Then at 10, if you have a cup of tea, fine. If you have a cup of uji, fine. If you're able to get orange for 20 shillings, fine. If you're not able to get all of them a cup of milk, then take a glass of water. Then make sure you eat lunch. You are in a situation, you are doing mujengo, you are not able to get the balance there to gali, nyama and all that. Milk is protein, right? Let's say even your bread is starch. You can even take mala and a donut if it is too hard. But if you're watching your lifestyle, tend to avoid that. You can take mala and groundnuts. You can take mala and potato. You can take mala and maize in a healthy way, but prevent the donuts and all that. But you've taken something. You can still do your cup of uji and an egg. It's still balanced. Uji is starch, egg is protein. You can still do githeri and vegetables. But if you're able to get, you can do gali. You can do at least 6 or 8 pieces of meat, not that you just eat too much of it, roughly 70 or 90 to 150 grams of beef. And we say for beef, do not take more than 3 times a week, because
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90 647.
Without health, life is not life. As human beings, we need complete mental, physical, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease. Regardless of what disease, condition, health system status, or information gap, we are here not just to convey or state, but to explain and break it down in the most basic way, for your health is key and it matters. Every Monday from 7:30 p.m., I will help you find out how to look after your health, live healthier for longer, and be in total control of your health.
Are you looking to grow your business? Kirk TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@kirktv.org or call 011 00 90 647.
It was indeed a short one. Welcome back in studio with Felix Okoth, a nutritionist for Mater Hospital. We continue the conversation, Bwana Felix. Let's talk a little bit on, you've told me that you feel that we haven't covered enough on how to lose weight. And my producer on the other side asked me, a little bit of what now it's building on social media. You know, people coming up with different kind of diets that they have given names. There's, I don't know if it's keto or keto. There's the intermittent fasting and all that. Do they work?
Okay.
Are they are they advisable as well?
Okay, there are different diets. Okay. All of them in comprising. They're called fad diets. Food. They're just food practices to tend to lose weight. That is what is fad diet. Yeah. So there is the keto diet. The ketogenic is whereby people tend to take more of fatty food that have they believe as less energy, or they dwell much on the proteins and all that, okay? And then the veggies and a bit of fruits, and then tend to control a bit of the starch, okay? Things that have more fat and energy, so that the carbohydrate factor is tend to reduce, because we say carbohydrate is the main source of energy. But the danger is if you take more the keto diet, and you're not able to burn this extra fat in terms of exercise, chances of cholesterol buildup is also there, okay? Keto proteins and all that tend also to remove weight in form of ketones. Ketones can build up and then overwork your body to control it. That leads to too much water being drained to remove the ketones, and this can lead to acidic medium within your bloodstream. And this can overwork your kidney, and you've done keto, yes, you've lost weight, but you have acute kidney injury at the end game, or kidney disease at the end game. Then we also have intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a general dieting to tend to restrict energy to about 50% of whatever you should take in a day. So if I require calorie about 2,000 calories, I'll restrict my calorie to 1,000 per day. So there are different types of intermittent fasting. It depends with how long do you want to fast. We have 16/8 method, whereby you fast for 16 hours and you eat for only 8 hours during the day. And this is whereby, if let's say I fast from 6 to 10 is 16 hours.
6 to 10 p.m.?
To 10 a.m. 6 p.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah, this
roughly 16.
Yeah.
Because from
16 hours.
12 yes. So meaning my last meal should end at 6, and my first meal should start at 10. So you get that in most cases I should restrict my breakfast roughly 200 calories, and lunch roughly 400, and all that, so that it doesn't pass this 1,000. So I'll eat from 10 to around 3-4, I'm done with my meals. Then the rest of the hours I don't eat. There is also one called it's called 2-7 method, whereby you fast for 2 days within a week. Okay, actually 2-5. You fast for 2 days within a week, but you eat for 5 days of the week. There is also one whereby you just restrict. So it's more of restricting calories. But I tell people these are short-term weight loss procedures. Yes, you lose weight, and you lose drastical weight. Okay, we have the programs for losing weight. You saw them on TV, but try search for those people today. You will see, you will get they have gained weight, because this was a strenuous procedure, a short-term procedure. You lose weight, and if you can't sustain that, you go back to your diet, you'll gain more weight. So if you know how to play in a way that it's able to assist you, then fine. But even if it is intermittent fasting, also work with the nutritionist so that your portions are still, yes, less, but still able to supply your body, so that you don't tend to lose more of the nutrients that you require. Apart from that, we have also DASH diet, dietary allowance to reverse hypertension, whereby you mostly take more of the plant protein, more the fruits, more the vegetables. That is still healthy, because animal proteins have a lot of fat and you don't engage in more starch. That's fine, but you have to know how to control it. So these different diets and all that, yes, they are good if they are well tailor-made to fit individual.
But do you feel that we are complicating it?
Yes, it's not a healthy. It's not a healthy way, because there is that weight that one should lose in a month. We say do not lose more than 2 to 4 kgs. Healthy weight loss is 2 to 4 kgs a month. Ikienda sana 6 kg. But you're using this dietary practices. You want to lose 15 kg in a month. You're overworking your body. You are denying your body nutrients. And mostly people who does that, they tend to have a hormonal imbalance. A part of hormonal imbalance, they tend to have mood issues, mood swings and all that. Apart from that, they also tend to have issues diabetic at the end. I've seen many people who have done intermittent fasting or drastic weight loss, and we end to admit them with diabetes and all that, because when you are restricting energy to the body has to go to the stored energy in the liver. You remember glycogen, glucagon and all that? So it goes to the glucagon in the liver, transfers it to glycogen, normal sugar the body can use in the bloodstream. And the faster you release also impairs the insulin. You can end up to be diabetic. So you need to telemate. So the only easiest thing with weight loss is practice weight loss regime that you can use for a lifestyle. And that, yes, takes time. But patience is better, because that weight didn't come in 1 year. So what happens is, just avoid things that make you gain weight. The junk, the fatty foods, chips, sausages, samosa, mandazi, hamburgers, pizza, okay? Deep fried nyama, all those deep fried things, tend to limit them because they will give you much fat to gain weight. Limit sugary food. If you're taking 3 cups of tea, take 1, or even take sugar-free. If you can, if you're losing weight, 1 cup of sugar-free tea. Avoid commercial juices, okay? We have already prevented excess from coming in. Now control your portion. So if you're taking large amount of food in the morning or for lunch, control it so that if you're taking 3 serving spoons of rice, take either 1 serving spoon of rice. But now, because rice is not their main source of energy, then take like 3 serving spoons of mbosho and 3 serving spoons of vegetable, because they are not main source of energy, but they fill your stomach. 1 serving spoon rice, 3 serving spoon beans, 3 serving spoon vegetable, you will be full, right? Ugali, you can take a fish size, or take a half a fish size, then take a palm size fish, and 3 serving spoon vegetable, you will be full. Or 6 pieces of beef, and that ugali will be full. Tend to limit your starch at supper. You can even try 2 days in a week, you don't take starch for supper, you just take protein and vegetables, or you do fruits, or you do a glass of yogurt and vegetables, or you just do beans or dengu and something for supper, like 3 times or 4 times a week. You limit that starch, your body will use that excessive fat, okay? You can try 3 times in a week. You can either take, you can even, we've seen now we can rejoin both intermittent fasting and the normal feeding. Breakfast, you can take a fruit, okay? You have already, for 2 hours a week, you have limited the energy you are to take on breakfast. Let's say just a fruit salad or some vegetable salad. And then you do lunch and you restrict starch for supper. You just do protein and vegetable. You restrict that energy and you are able to lose weight, and your body will get still what the nutrients it requires.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. And you know, these are practices that are easily, you know, anybody can do this.
Yes.
But when it goes, you feel that you've tried your best and you cannot do it anymore. And then there's this, something you talked about, GBS, is it gastric balloon surgery? You know, does it really come in handy when you finally now feel like
I would say, if one do not have hormonal condition making them gain weight, if one is not on medication such as steroids, those anti-inflammatory medication that is making them gain weight, if one does not have mental disorder that they're using medication that is making them gain weight, but you just obese due to feeding and all that, trust you me, if you are disciplined, you will lose weight with diet alone and exercise. But the problem is, I went to a nutritionist, I was given a diet, I've lost weight, and then you're coming to borrow me my diet. Or you are telling me, Felix, as a nutritionist, kindly send for me your diet for losing weight. I don't have it, because I don't know how you eat. So if you have a best tailor-made diet, okay, and you be reviewed every monthly, you be consistent being reviewed every monthly, trust me, with diet and lifestyle, you lose weight. But now in a case, yes, you have tried, you are not able to lose this weight, okay, then yes, you can go for this gastric balloon and all that. But there are complications. Gastric balloon surgery is whereby either a total, we can have a total surgery on the stomach where a larger chunk of the stomach is being removed, or we can also suppress the upper part of the stomach, so that if this is your stomach, we cut the upper part of it, or tunafinya kidogo, we reduce the volume of food getting in. So the main purpose is that you get full faster, okay? So when you get full faster, you restrict your excess energy intake. But what are the dangers? Anesthesia reaction can come in, because when you're going for a surgery, they give you anesthesia so that you don't feel the pain. We can also have infection. Apart from that, blood clot issues. Apart from that, there is something called itohernia. Itohernia is whereby when your stomach feels a lot of pressure due to too much food or that, the stomach bulges upwards. So upward bulging of stomach to the chest is what is called itohernia. That can occur. Apart from that, poor nutrients intake, because part of your stomach is removed and every part of the stomach is important. So you should always make sure when you're going for these procedures, go for people who are professional enough. If it is professionally done, you are normally going for your checkup and you're well screened and everything, you follow the right procedure, and yes, well and good. But I always say make it as a last resort when you have tried the healthy weight loss with your nutritionist. Not that now I'm teaching here, you are going to try now balance the way I'm teaching. Remember, your requirement and my requirement is not the same.
Yeah,
that's just an example. Yeah. So you need a tailor-made balanced diet for every single day, breakfast, lunch and supper, depending on your activity, to take you through the month and being reviewed to help you. Exercises also. Exercise help you burn extra fat. And we said you were to ask that question.
Yes. You know, people think that you have to subscribe to a gym. You have to be gymming evenings and mornings.
Exercise is anything that increases your metabolism or your increase of energy. Exercise is anything that induces heat in your system to burn fat. So it's ramas you get to a gym. In fact, going to a gym is not very easy and economical for some people. You can even do indoor exercise. I was to do an exercise with this chair in the bedroom. I can do a full body exercise with this. The way I'm seated, I will stand, right? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That goes here, right? When I'm seated, so when I do 3 steps of that 5, I can still do my lower legs. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That has gone to lower legs. After that, I can do shoulder shrugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That has gone to my shoulders. I can do the neck, 10 of it. When I'm done with that, I can stand. I can do jumping jacks. Okay, I know I'm having this. I don't want to move. I can do jumping jacks. 10 of them. When I've done the 10, I come back. I can use either this table to do the chest. 10 of them. Then I go back and repeat that circle 3 times. I've done a full body exercise.
Well, you don't have to. People don't
or I go
run,
or I go walk, or I go swim. But any exercise is you have to induce it. So someone tells me, I walk from my office to town every day. As long as you're not sweating, is a physical maintenance. For you to burn fat, you have to sweat. So, and that's why if you start by walking, you're used to walking for 500 meters, you need to adjust 1 kilometer. If I am used to this 5, whatever I'm done, I go to 10. Slowly by slowly, I reduce, I increase, and that is exercise. Yes.
All right. I think that is great. What a conversation we've had this morning. I wish we had more time, but because of the schedule that is coming up, of course, the vetting of the CSS in Parliament beginning this morning, we'll have to end it there. But Mr. Felix, I promise, even if I will not be seated in this seat, I know that we will invite you again to give us more, because I believe we haven't covered deeply even on obesity, on how to avoid, fight and prevent weight gain and all that. But we will find time. You'll come back again. We will try to help our viewer there to understand how easy it is to be healthy in terms of nutrition.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Maybe on my behalf of my employer, since they have brought me here. We have now, a matter of stuff, we are now at our 60th years. Of celebration. Yes. And we have given a leeway this month and next month. This next 2 months. We have cut our prices. We normally charge consultation at a cash pay. We normally charge 1,500. We are now charging 660. The insurance we normally charge 1,800. We are at 9 something. And different also, we have also different things and services that we have cut up.
Okay.
We have a branch in South B.
They can come over.
They can also come, Westlands, Karen, Shujamal, Buruburu and all that.
They come and do the services.
The services and even meet me in person so that I'm able to assist them. We can do cholesterol checkup, sugar checkup, reviews and all that to see really how has that obesity affected them. And we do diabetes checkup and all that.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Bwana Felix. I wish you the best. Thank you for what you're doing for the community. We would like to now end it there and take you live to Parliament, National Assembly. Of course, they are having those sittings to vet the CSS this morning. The first one in the chamber being the nominee for the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi of the ANC party, who is taking his first session, and later Justin Muturi, who is the nominee for the Attorney General, will take the chambers for that. So follow Kirk TV. For me, Vincent Kerosi, and my guest in studio, Felix Oko, the clinical nutrition from Mater Hospital, we want to say thank you. We'll invite him again to continue helping us understand on how to manage our health and our weight for that matter. Enjoy the rest of the viewing. My name is Vincent Kerosi, and continue engaging with us on our socials, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook, Kirk TV Kenya on Twitter, and of course on other social media platforms.
Voted us in. Are there, alighting every morning to go to work and alighting every evening to go home. To me, I say that that is a constant reminder that whenever I go to that office, I will know that those are hard workers in our country, and therefore we must not let them down. We must work hard and improve on this country. So I am personally very delighted to be